Hi, I'm Tom Lydon, editor of ETF Trends, here at the Morningstar Invest Conference in Chicago. And I'm here with Jonathan Horton, who's president of FTSE North America. Now, Jonathan, FTSE is an index provider, right?
Yeah.
Indexing is a huge part of the ETF space. 99% of ETFs are based on indexes. That's your business. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so let's just talk a bit about FTSE, I think, first, just so you understand, Tom, who FTSE are. So we're one of the world's top 3 index providers. We operate like many of the businesses on a global basis.
Yeah.
We have clients all over the world. We're very institutionally focused, so 10 of the top 10 investment banks use us. 98 of the top asset management companies use us. We're used by more than 100 of the world's leading plan sponsors. So we're very established in the institutional space. We have global hubs, so we operate from London, from Hong Kong, and from New York. And now we're growing very rapidly, at about 20% a year.
And just recently, big news this week, you got a great mandate from Vanguard, who's basically moving a slew of their ETFs from MSCI-based indexes, another index provider, over to FTSE.
Yeah.
Huge move, and you've got to be thrilled about it.
It's a huge win for us. I mean, you can't move away from that. Absolutely huge win for us. Transformational for the index industry, and we think transformational for the ETF marketplace.
Yeah. Now, there's been this price war that's been going on in the ETF space, and Vanguard has been leading the chase with shrinking expense ratios. I'm imagining you gave them a pretty good deal compared to, and I'm not asking what the numbers look like, but may even give them a little bit more room to be more competitive from an expense standpoint, as both individual investors and advisors and institutions are considering their ETFs.
So for us, I mean, this deal is transformational for lots of reasons. If you think about it just in terms of our market share, so in the ETF marketplace, we moved to number 3 for equity benchmarks, which is very important to us. Secondly, it lifts our visibility in the US to levels that really we enjoy elsewhere in the world. So we're a very well-known brand globally. So I say we're amongst the top 3 index providers globally. It lifts our visibility here in the US. But if you take all those strategic benefits aside, this was a very commercially sensible deal for us to do. And I mean, I'd love to tell you the deal, but for obvious reasons I can't. But yeah, very commercially sensible. And the reason why it was a commercially sensible deal for us is the index providers, we are engines of innovation in the ETF marketplace. And it's really important that we do deals that are sensible and we reach long-term agreements with our partners that enable us to continue to invest in research, in our people, in that innovation. Really key.
Well, in the ETF space, having competition on price, that's big, and we're talking a lot about it now. It sounds like index providers are tossing the gloves off and going at it as well. So with that, ultimately it sounds like the end user or the individual investor or advisor can even benefit that much more.
So I mean, the reality of competition is choice.
Right.
And I think choice is good for the product issuers, it's good for the end investor. And we want to make sure that investors in the US particularly understand and recognise that choice is available to them consistently. So it's important we bring choice to the market, and we think we've done that with the Vanguard deal. But the key for us is long-term sustainable relationships, and we want to build long-term relationships with all of our partners globally, not just here in the US.
A lot of big pensions and endowments have mandates to use MSCI indexes, right? Or what will that do once the transition is made over to FTSE? I'm sure you're making a lot of phone calls, and hopefully some of these mandates now include FTSE, correct?
Yeah, we have a lot of institutional benchmarks, a lot of institutional asset owners who are benchmarked to our indices, and let's get that clear. So we compete very successfully in that market space on a global basis. Now, we do hope and we expect that there will be institutional players who will move to FTSE benchmarks as a consequence of this switch, absolutely. And we're getting calls already, so we're very pleased.
Are you getting calls from other ETF providers?
Absolutely, and it's been interesting actually. We've had really positive reaction from across our client base to this news, so yeah, it's been very good.
Well, congratulations, and thanks for spending a few minutes with me. This is Tom Lydon from ETF Trends.
Okay.